First, I want to update everybody on the Amber Alert that was issued early this afternoon. At about 2:20 this afternoon, the Manchester Police Department was notified about the safety and concern about the two subjects that were issued in the named in the Amber Alert. So officers and detectives responded to the address in question. Due to investigative means and measures, our concern was elevated, and that's what drew us to the fact that we issued the Amber Alert at approximately 5:30 this afternoon, and approximately 6:20 this afternoon, or early this evening. The subjects of the Amber Alert were located in the city, safe and sound, and in good health and good condition. So I want to highlight the fact that the Amber Alert system did work. The vehicle was located by a private citizen who immediately called the Manchester Police Department. We had officers in that immediate area, and we were able to locate the two subjects and determine that they were safe and they were okay. So that's the most important thing. So I also want to highlight the cooperation we got from our federal partners in assisting in this investigation early on to make sure that we were allocating every resource possible to locate these two individuals.
This entire case. So what was
Sure, there's many facets as this investigation's starting to unwind. And the detectives are going to be working throughout the evening and probably into tomorrow to kind of solidify some things and rule some things out. So the investigation's in its very early stages. We need more time to speak with the subject of the adult, and to speak with some other parties. But at this point, I think there is no. I'm confident saying at this point there's no immediate threat to the general public in regards to this case.
You thought they were both in danger too?
Initially we did through our investigative measures, and as detectives and patrol officers started to uncover more information, and anytime that it gets reported to us that people are leaving a residence and in some somewhat concerning circumstances, then that raised our concern. That's why we decided to issue the Amber Alert. And I want to highlight, we didn't just arbitrarily jump to issuing an Amber Alert. So there's some things that we had to work through before we went ahead and did that. I wouldn't say it's a misunderstanding, but those are the things that I talked about earlier that we want to investigate further and find out more about, and why those things were happening, why we have an active Amber Alert going on. So yeah, we have a lot of questions that we need to get answered at this point.
And I just saw, again, through social media, so many people were commenting, hundreds of people saying, I saw this, I saw that, I called the station. How vital is the public in a situation like this?
Extremely. It just demonstrates that the system worked. I mean, everybody got that Amber Alert on their phone like I did. It starts beeping uncontrollably until you address it and look at it. So the person that called in did just that, and happened to be in an area where she saw the vehicle and immediately called the police department, and was able to find them in about 4 hours from the original call. So that's pretty good, and that's a credit to the community and people paying attention. And that's I think the time and age that we live in, where social media can be our friend.
So what time was the original call?
At 2:20 this afternoon.
Okay. Yeah. And is it safe to assume, and I know you probably can't specify what, but safe to assume there'll be charges involved somehow?
Too early on to determine if any charges are going to be filed. This is an investigation that's in its very early stages, and detectives need the appropriate time to go ahead and sort through this before we even think about if we have any criminal charges.
Part of the audio of that Amber Alert said unknown male, may have connections to a drug cartel, so a lot of people were kind of attached to that word there. Are there any sort of concerns about who they were found safely with in this situation?
I can tell you that they were found safely together, and there was nobody with them.
For them, had family been calling them?
I haven't had a chance to speak with the detectives. They were still in the process of speaking with the adult female in the Amber Alert. So again, that's all part of the investigation.
We're talking about federal partners you're working with. I assume you're talking about the FBI in this situation?
Yes, the FBI. They have some additional resources that will lend to our investigative steps to speed things up, if you will, and they just bring in some additional resources. And it's not uncommon. We work with the FBI and all our federal partners day in and day out here, so they're always part of our conversations.
And just to clarify,